Jaka here with a updated version 1.1.1 Frenzy Double Swing build. I posted before about with this Barb. I think I was like in the 70s. I'm now in the 90. I'm 95. We'll do a quick recap of the build and what's new given the patch. The build got buffed overall and made a couple tweaks, but it's still pretty strong. So let's start real quick with the abilities here, skill tree. Um, Everything revolves around frenzy and double swing essentially. So I run frenzy here. Standard issue. They buffed the fury generation, so that helped a lot in the build. So I go frenzy, enhanced frenzy, and then the damage reduction for each stack of frenzy that I have. That comes into play because of battle trance. We'll go through that after. But so skill tree frenzy, lunging strike just for mobility. I run two basic attacks in this build, and it actually considers as a swap also, so that will come into play later. Pressure point, make vulnerable, a chance for core skills to proc vulnerable, and then I have double swing here. I could have went with the vulnerable proc, but since I use pressure point to cover that base at least for vulnerable, and with double swing it refunds, becomes free if you hit a knockdown or stunned enemy. That's stunned or knocked down, we can proc pretty easily with the build. You'll see that later. And casting double swing while berserking grants 2 additional seconds of berserking. So this will pretty much keep me in infinite berserking as long as there's enemies around. So that's nice right there. I took Iron Skin here for survivability. I took the aspect that improves Iron Skin as well, so that helps a lot. So we just got, Iron Skin, enhanced Iron Skin for more barrier, and then a heal with Iron Skin. We got Outburst to give us thorns, and then whenever anyone's hit with thorns, they take bleeding damage. So this is just a real quick way to proc your damage to bleeding or damage reduction from bleeding. Movement speed is a must. I pretty much can't live without it. I had kick in the previous build, but I actually ended up going with charge this time around. I think it's just more fun and helps a lot more with mobility, even though kick gives you two cooldowns. So I went with charge. I went with and this got buffed actually in that patch too, in this previous patch, this recent patch. Enhanced charge got buffed, so if they're stunned more when they get knocked into terrain, and here they're vulnerable for 4 seconds. So this kind of acts as one charge of kick to make enemies vulnerable. So that's just a way to keep vulnerable up. I went with aggressive resistance here to give damage reduction, some DR while berserking. I don't need battle fervor anymore. I had that in the last build, and I found out that I didn't really need it since double swing was pretty much keeping my friend my berserking up. And surprisingly enough, I don't need any more fury regeneration. I'm not sure because of the extra fury frenzy gives, but I don't need. I was able to save some points from this. I think I ended up using them in this tree right here. So this weapon mastery tree, pit fighter's standard issue for most Barb builds, and increased critical strike chance against immobilized, stunned, or slowed enemies. That's pretty much going to be everybody that we hit. They're going to be stunned or slowed, maybe even immobilized. Bleeding affects slow, healthy enemies. So those long distance, those range enemies who hit you for thorns, they'll be procced for bleeding damage and they'll be slowed. So that will proc your no mercy and other effects. Thick skin, just got 1 point of that to open up the rest of this. So counter offensive, if I were to run a different amulet, I would definitely run something with a counter offensive. You basically just deal more damage when you have more fortify. So, and fortify we are going to have in this build, and build up fortify pretty easily in this build. So those effects will pretty much be up all the time. Defensive stance, just more DR while fortified. It pretty much equates to an extra sapphire, I think. Here, attack speed. Since we're frenzying, we need pretty much as much attack speed as possible. Here, tempered fury to open up the rest of this. Here we get, every time we swap weapons, we get 6 fury, and we actually swap between lunging strike and frenzy pretty often. Lunging strike to close the distance, and then frenzy just to continue. So that's a quick 6 fury you'll get in between, on top of whatever they provide. So what's this? 12 plus 6, 18 plus one of these is 4. So that's 22. And then this invigorating fury keeps me up a lot. Whenever you spend every 100 fury, you get 9% life, and I'm spamming double swing, so this helps keep me alive. I was thinking about taking out Wrath the Berserker, but so far it's been working out, and it got a buff too, I believe, in the last patch. So it's Wrath the Berserker. While Wrath the Berserker is active, you get movement speed, which is nice, and Fury Regeneration, which is just a bonus. This was pretty good. Every 50 Fury you spend, the bonus damage lasts for... the bonus damage is increased by 25%. So you're stacking it. You'll hear the drum beat every time I pop Berserking, because you're just spamming double swing on the knockdown enemies, and a lot of them aren't even surviving, to be honest. Unconstrained, I went with this. I was thinking about trying a Gushing Wounds with this build. Maybe sometime in the future I'll try a Gushing Wounds combo, a bleeding combo with Overpower, but until then, we just got Unconstrained. Increased Berserking's maximum duration to 5 seconds, and increases damage bonus to 60. So that's a nice little buff right there. Just, you know, I mean, it got reworded essentially, but just like having Berserking damage bonus go up to 60 is nice. Okay, real quick now, the gear that we have. I'm running Iron Skin, the Bone Weave Helm of Iron Warrior, or the Iron Warrior aspect. So Iron Skin gives me an Unstoppable. The skills that I have, I got Charge, Wrath the Berserker, Lunging Strike, Iron Skin, Frenzy, and Double Swing. So I got essentially 3 Unstoppable CC breaks. I have Iron Skin as a CC break, I have Wrath the Berserker as a CC break, and Charge, surprisingly enough, as a CC break. So this was what makes Iron Skin a CC break, and the 28% damage reduction is pretty fucking good. Let's see here. I ended up upgrading my last chest piece for, I think, the Herogath one, for a Disobedience. I just got, you know, damage reduction from close, damage reduction from distant, damage reduction from bleeding, and then a fortified generation. I couldn't roll a 4th DR on here, so, which is fine. It's not a big deal. All gems are sapphires for damage reduction while fortified. I've been playing around with my gloves, but this is what I landed on. I got Lucky Hit to help proc any Lucky Hit stuff, like the Vulnerable with my core skill. Attack speed, max roll. I was looking for something for that, and I actually didn't even need the critical strikes on here. My critical strike damage, critical strike chance was high enough where I didn't actually really need it. At least I've been finding out. So now I can proc like a chance to heal, and heal 21% of primary resource. I actually got pretty lucky with that roll. So I got, you know, I basically have extra chances to just refill my health globes. I finally found a Temerity, so I upgraded my pants, and I got lucky with a max roll Temerity for 80% barrier, which is nice. And then I have another chance to heal for 1,000 life. Got a pretty decent roll in the max life, and what do you call this? And I guess the healing receipt wasn't bad, but definitely the 80% helps a lot. These boots, I ended up changing, I think, my previous boots, but here I deal more damage to bosses, essentially. I don't really care for the CC crowd control duration. I got, you know, movement speed, fury cost reduction, which I feel like even in this build you don't really need fury cost reduction. I could change that for like an all stats to help build up Paragon bonuses. And that 63 dexterity I actually use to get more bonuses on my Paragon board, so that's why that's there. And I got a damage reduction while injured. I actually stacked a couple of these up. My weapons I changed around a little bit. I replaced this with a what do you call this? An Edgemasters max roll. So I got vulnerable, critical, and core skill damage with 84 to all stats. The stats were actually helping me more than the basic attack damage, and I kind of made up for the basic attack damage with the topazes. So this actually is missing basic attack damage. I went with all stats in that. I found an 819 sword. And so this is also missing basic attack damage. I'm looking for another sword that has that to have the quad roll of core skill, vulnerable, critical strike, and basic attack damage. But this is the closest I could get, essentially. With Temerity now, I can run the damage increase while I have a barrier up. I'm still using the same Magnum Opus. I believe this got buffed also with some type of damage or something. But this is the highest roll I've gotten. I think this is my old one still. So I have a chance to restore some more resource. I only got a point. I got a 0.2 roll. Looking for a 0.3 roll. So yeah, there's that, and it has damage to dual wield weapons. I just found this sword. This got my quad roll that I wanted, so I put my the rapid aspect on it. So I got basic skill, core skill damage, critical strike damage, and vulnerable damage. And yeah, basic skills are now 60% increased attack speed. That is a big difference. I tried to take it off, and it felt so slow. So so yeah, I got pretty lucky with this. Battle Trance. This is the same Battle Trance pre-patch, and I'm glad they didn't retro change the stat for at least this item, because it still has 57% basic skill damage, which is fucking nice on here. Because I have this build actually doesn't require that much CDR, if anything at all. Close damage reduction's nice, damage reduction while injured, and then 3 stacks of frenzy. And I got a good roll, 43% increased attack speed. The heart here is pretty key for the build. Your skills have a 38% chance to knock down all enemies for 1.25 seconds, and when the attack speed is higher than 26%, which is pretty much all my skills. So this knockdown is going to proc your free double swing. I think, yeah, this hasn't really changed either. I might have gotten a better roll. So just standard critical strike chance, critical strike damage. I got a life 1. I was hoping for a damage to close enemies, but that didn't work out. So basic skills increase the damage of your next core skill. So I attack so fast that this is easy to proc the 30%. And I put the Vicious Heart there. The Vicious Heart that makes your crit damage more, makes your crits deal more damage, and your basic skills do less. And I got a pretty good roll on that. Let's see. Next one, I changed this aspect actually. Standard, same thing. Crit chance, crit damage, vulnerable with damage to close. That could be changed, but no big deal. I actually found that this while berserking, dealing 30% damage as additional bleeding was actually ended up being pretty good for like a little bit higher tier stuff. But early tier, like stuff around my level, they die too fast. I don't get too much bonus. So this is actually still in the experimental phase. I can replace this aspect with something else, and I'm running Barber, 2.5 second Barber on this. So that's that. My Paragon actually got built out a lot more. This is standard first tier. I just run exploit, efficient way to get what do you call this? You can pause the video if you need to. Efficient way to get dexterity on here to max out vulnerable on here, and it doesn't require that much points, as you can see. Next here I got the ambidextrous, which increases magic nodes, and this board I think probably has the best magic nodes around the glyph. It's vulnerable damage and damage reduction from vulnerable with some stats. So this glyph gives me an extra 18 vulnerable damage, 7.3 damage reduction from vulnerable, and then dexterity and willpower, and 8% damage while wielding one-handed weapons. And it doesn't, if you look right here, it doesn't require too much points, so which is nice. And I just got this extra strength node right here to pretty much give me the bonus. That's the only thing that really deterred me off the path. This is really good right here. This node right here, pillage for more vulnerable damage, just 20 vulnerable damage. I wanted to make sure I got the stat requirement for that, so I chose this as my first board. Then next over here, I have the Wrath, where critical strikes generate 3 fury. I don't even know if Barber procs this, but it's mainly for the critical strike damage. It gives me 50 here. Do I have more dexterity around here? I don't think so. So yeah, I got that. This is really good. 30 critical strike damage. Made sure I had this stat requirement for this. And we went over to the right side here. Attack speed, damage with one-handed weapons, right here, and then we came up to the next. So these were all damage, pretty much damage. The first 3 boards were damage related, glyphs / nodes, and then I went into more defensive over here for my 4th board. Here I got Warbringer. This is the fortification board for the Barb. So I end up putting territorial here. damage reduction from close enemies, and then damage to close with every dexterity. There's still one more dexterity node I could get, but it's requiring some points. I'm not sure if I'll get it. I didn't even get this 10 strength because resistance to all elements is pretty much useless until they fix it. So I worked my way around. I got extra fury. This extra fury actually adds more bonus damage to the magnum opus sword, or the opus sword. So a Warbringer here, every 75 fury spend you get 12% fury. This is still good. I'm literally spamming double swing, so my fury, my fortify is coming up. And here damage while fortified, 20% damage while fortified, really good. And I think there's fortified generation on here. And this board, which I'm probably going to end at, I went with the Ire glyph, where while berserking I take 10% damage reduction from elites, and then more damage while berserking based on strength. And this actually has a lot of strength nodes here. I'm still missing 1, 2, 3 strength nodes, so there's actually a total of what, 65 strength in this board that I can get. So and you know, some armor here. And if you look at this node, this gave me extra damage to elites, and since this board is so far, it's requiring me to get 530 dexterity. That's why I end up getting all stats on one of my two-handers and dexterity on my boots, so I can meet that requirement because I didn't want to miss out on that. So that's my board, that's my armor. Like, I guess let's try the build out. Let me just pop a potion here. Watch me die right away. Just kidding. I got an Alder's Cave here with Dodge Breakers, Avengers, rank 55. The Avenger part might be shitty, but we'll try it out. See if we can do it. Hopefully I don't get wrecked in this video, but we'll try it out. Oh, I guess I'll show the stats too before I enter. That's one more thing I'll show. If you guys remember Varian from Warcraft, that's where this kind of comes from, in a sense. Let's see, what is Avenger? Okay, so I can come in. So that's where the Varian has twin blades and Heroes of the Storm. So that's kind of where this character creation kind of came from. Yeah, I'll be streaming this week. You can follow me at kick.com/ninjaka. That's the letter 9 Jaka. Like, follow, subscribe if you like the content. Appreciate all the feedback. Thank you. So real quick for stats. Let's see here. Attack speed bonus 27.8. Crit chance is 30, so I'm actually missing crit chance on my gloves. Crit strike damage 423, pretty good right there. Plus my dual wield crit damage, that's almost like 475. Pretty high overpower, but I don't overpower often. Vulnerable damage 250, that could be a little bit better. Damage versus close, I got all that kind of up. Damage with physical, damage with dual wield 50%. Damage with basic is down. I had, I believe, 440 in my last build, which I'll link at the end of this video if you guys want to watch that. But I gained damage with core, which is 128%. Life is pretty good at 11,000. Let's see here, fortify bonus 39. Let's see. Where's my damage reduction from? So I got pretty good damage reduction from vulnerable, from close, from distant, from bleeding. Damage reduction while injured is pretty good, 62%. Damage reduction while injured. Damage reduction while fortified is 15. And then just regular class damage reduction. Good movement speed. You'll see, like, I move pretty fast through the dungeons. Good clear. Lucky hit is nice. And yeah, let's do this. Okay. Let's not get wrecked, please. You pretty much come in with lunging strike to close distance. Stack up your frenzy. Pop your. Make sure frenzy is up. Try to keep it at 5 stacks, and pretty much swing and hope, you know, pretty much delete everything. He's gonna charge, but he's gonna get knocked down. So as long as you keep your frenzy at 5 stacks, it's pretty. Oh shit! So I got frozen right there. Pop a iron skin. There you go. Just pretty much delete everything, you know. If there's too much, just charge right there. Keep them on the corner. Keep swinging. There you go. Then they die. Get rid of that. So charge is nice because it kind of clumps the enemies up for me, especially when they're grouped up like that. To basically help me double swing and attack all of them or hit all of them with double swing. And then I just break this. I pretty much just spam. What do you call this? Double swing to keep my frenzy up. I mean, to keep my what do you call this? Keep my berserking up. And if you look here, I can literally attack, alternate attack, and build up my fury to keep my berserking up. See? So I can literally just build it up without even having any enemies. So frenzy, berserking's out. So now that berserking is gone, I'll just pop it again, stack it up. As long as there's enemies around, it's okay. Just attack right there, shoot the attack. There we go. Didn't do too much damage, even though he's fucking big right there. I have to kill him. Had those fuckers attacking me there. Ooh, double, huh? Oh, okay. They're too pissed off. Make this here, and then charge at them, and then put them in the corner. And just attack them. Boom. Vulnerable, done. Like, instant. I'm not sure if the charge does the damage, or if it's just because they're vulnerable or whatever, but I don't know. Keep charging them into the corner, like, works really well for these enemies. Okay, let me just see what I got here. I know most people like avoid this, but I don't know. I pick up my ancestral. I need gold, so I pick up my ancestrals. I see a lot of streamers, they don't pick them up, but the board broke from all the theory crafted. So I'm not sure if for those who've played like Diablo 2, when you guys were like, if you guys remember, like the frenzy Barb was pretty fun, you know. So I kind of wanted to. It felt weird to not have frenzy be good when you see like whirlwind Barbs doing really good, and like frenzy was lackluster. So I kind of want to get back to that, like, you know, that almost like a Viking double attack feeling, dual wielding in a sense. So it's, you move pretty fast. You can kind of like dash through the enemies with lunging strike, close distance, keep popping potions. You see they're all there. You knock them to a corner with charge. Let's see. Yeah, so hopefully I can do Uber Lilith. I actually haven't done Uber Lilith with any of my characters. I don't know why. It just hasn't happened. And pretty much whenever a potion pops up, I just I pop a potion whenever one drops. Double swing when I can. Double swing keeps my my berserking up, keeps my damage reduction up too, in a sense. That's the bleed damage getting stacked on that enemy. Yeah, you move pretty fast with berserking too, so that's a plus. Enemies are what? I'm level 95, they're 109, so not super high yet, but I kind of want to hit 100 before I start to climb a little bit higher. But I think I was doing tier 60s with good what do you call it? Affixes? Pretty okay. Okay, I got frozen there. That's fine. Pop your potions, do a double swing, keep that berserking up, run around. So you pretty much just dash around, shoot a couple of double swings, and most of your attacks are gonna knock down enemies like that, which is nice, you know. Like that's just, if they're knocked down, they're not attacking you. That's a win. And then for those enemies that do get CC immune, you have your boots to kind of deal more damage to them to help yourself kind of deal with that a little bit more. See, I'm low on fury right here. I'm just gonna build up. So low on fury, build up some. Like sometimes enemies don't even live for me to, what do you call this? For me to build up frenzy to 5 stacks. So that's, if I had to critique the build, if you can't build up your frenzy easily, your frenzy stacks, this build might suffer because you're gonna lose a lot of survivability by not having those damage reduction stacks. Yeah, the buff to battle trance, like, so good. So good. I'm double swinging so fast. It's like it's pretty gnarly. Just pop my CC immune there. Don't care about the CC immune. Like you're double swinging so fast. Like, and not only that, like your barber is just stacking damage. So, like I love cursed strides, cursed wells and stuff like that. Like give me those. You know, the more the merrier. And what's really fun, I'm not sure if I'll get it in this dungeon, but if there's any what do you call this? If there's any artillery shrines, like this, it's so fun. Like enemies get deleted with artillery shrine because you attack so fast that there's so much arrows coming out. Okay, let me get this shrine and see what's up. Is it cursed? Is this cursed? Oh, okay. Hoping to get a cursed one, but that's okay. Yeah, like everything you touch just dies. So just keep double swinging, keep that berserking up. There real quick. Gotta build the stacks up again before you get into the battle, you know? And there you go. He just died on his own right there. He's bleeding right there. He's dead. Okay. I mean, you know, pretty fast, pretty nice because it's fast runs in a sense. Is there more enemies up here? Just to clear. Nope, that's it. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, pretty fast run, safe-ish in a sense. Get your stacks up and you essentially win. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow. Appreciate you guys staying here till the end for those who did. I'll be putting out more content with different builds. I actually have a conjuration sorcerer coming up. But I might switch to lightning since it's post-patch. But yeah, that's pretty much this frenzy double swing barb. And it's funny because the attack power is so low, it looks like it's like this is a weak ass barb, but it does damage. It does.